Welcome back. The candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the September 2024 gubernatorial election in Edo State, in the person of Aswa Igadalo, has rejected the judgment of the appeal court which upheld the verdict of the state's election petition tribunal. The tribunal had earlier upheld the result declared by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), which declared Senator Monday Okpebolo, candidate of the All Progressive Congress, as the winner of the election. The three-man panel of the appellate court had on Thursday dismissed the appeal filed by Gadalo and his party, the People's Democratic Party. When reacting to the judgment in a statement on Thursday night, Gadalo, who expressed disappointment, announced its unwavering resolve to continue to pursue justice. Well, I'm being joined this morning to talk about even the generality of Edo State election by a comrade Haruna Brahimo, who is a member of the All Progressive Congress in Edo State. But first, you're welcome to a Global Morning.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
All right, so let's delve into the election. The Igadolo have come out to say that the election was marred with a lot of irregularities that contravenes the provisions of INEC. And we've seen the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal upholding the tribunal verdict. But in all of this, let's start with what's the position of APC in this regard?
The position is the position of the people. In September 21st, 2024, the people of Edo State got convinced with the manifestos of the APC and the promises of Senator Monday Okpebolo to bring about a new lease of life to governance in Edo State, and they overwhelmingly voted with more than 290,000 to elect a governor in Edo State. And the closest rival, who is Aswa Igadalo, got about 249,000, if I'm not mistaken, or thereabout, or 241,000, leaving him with a 40-something thousand difference. So if a man in popular votes across the states with more than 10 local governments give you such lead, it shows a referendum of how the people feels, the referendum from the people, and the consensus from the people that they don't want you. And INEC declared him winner, having been satisfied with the election and with the provision of the Electoral Act of 2022. He was returned the winner, and he was sworn in November 2020, November 11, 2024. So the position is very clear, and the law, the justice system has been good enough to sustain that position of the people. It's a win-win for the APC, because if Aswa had not tested the fabrics of the judiciary or the system of judiciary to clear his doubt, we wouldn't be here talking other things. At least he went to the tribunal. It was not APC that went to the tribunal. He went to the tribunal to say he has a case of he demanded stolen some prayers.
Yeah.
No, don't use the word stolen mandate. That is another delusional statement from that camp, which is misleading and misinforming. Because when you go to court, you speak like you speak in legal terms. When he went to court in the tribunal, he made prayers. He said the election was invalid on the grounds that there were irregularities, and he prayed the court to invalidate the election and cancel the election. And in the same prayers, in his petition, he seek for himself to be declared as the winner. You know, is that not, even from as I'm explaining it, is that not contradictory? That you want a court to invalidate an election that has been conducted. Invalidate, it means to declare the election null and void.
Void ab initio.
Exactly. So how do you, in the same petition, praying that you should be declared winner of an election that you want cancelled, election you want to be nullified? You understand? So on that basis, the lower court, which is the tribunal, these are justice of repute. They stray into the issues and they ask you, back up your petitions with evidence. That was the basis of their judgment. Your petition lacks evidence that is substantial enough to invalidate the election, to declare you winner. Because the CTC shows that OBO won. The CTC, the certified true copy of the results from INEC. INEC has explained the basis upon which they conducted the election from point of accreditation, voting, collation, and the issues you raised were straight into. Back up the issues you raised, you could not back it up. You said 770 something polling units were marred by irregularities. And at the end of the day, you presented only 19 oral evidence. In the 19, in quotes, and inside the 19, only 5 were polling unit agents. And you remember we have more than 4,000 polling units in Edo State. So how do you expect, if you were a judge, how do you expect the court to cancel an election on the basis of the opinions or the witness account of 5 out of 4,000 something polling units?
All right.
It's funny. And he went to the appeal court. APC never went to the appeal court. We didn't go to the tribunal in the first place. We were defendants. We were respondents in the case. And we went to appeal court again. We became respondent. We only filed a cross appeal on the basis that there were even some pronouncement, judicial pronouncement from the lower court, the tribunal, that was not supposed to be like we needed clarification on the issue of what is it called, the bimodal or whatever, the machine for accreditation. You understand? And the IRF and those things needed to be clarified well for Nigerians. And the appeal court, in its own wisdom, still affirmed the judgment of the tribunal. I did not only stop there, still held the tribunal, like one of the justices of this appeal court said, that some of the issues that the lower court did not attend to, they needed to give it a decent burial.
All right, we will delve into other part of the conversation right now, Comrade Brimo. Let's talk in terms of the political crime that Aswa Ighodalo has committed in Edo State. If at all there was a political crime, because we listened to the governor yesterday talking about granting Aswa political amnesty in Edo State. So let's hear from you. Was there a crime that he committed politically? Should be granted amnesty.
First of all, what is amnesty? What is political amnesty? Yeah, because amnesty is about pardon, on behalf of the states, the people, the majority of the states. We are pardoning him because for chasing what does not exist, in the process, he has made utterances. This is not electionary period. Some of them have called a legitimate government different names.
I think that he's working within his fundamental human rights. Section 39.
No, fundamental human rights.
Chapter 4, Section 39 of the
My
Constitution.
issues with the Nigeria politicians and beyond the Nigeria populace is the fact that we only know our rights and we don't know the limit to our rights.
All right.
The same section you are quoting, the subsection of that section, still talk about the fundamental limits to your freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of association. Everything has limits. So at the time your utterance become defamatory, your freedom of speech ends there. At the time your utterance become libelous, your freedom of speech ends there. At the time your association become criminalized or criminal intended or having the tendency to cause havoc to the socio-political peace of the states, your right of association ends there. When your political utterances are becoming inimical and becoming threatened to the peaceful coexistence of the people of a state, that is no longer about freedom of speech.
At this point, can we say that the speech has gotten to that point?
Because as at immediately beyond November 11, 2024, we have the legitimacy of the government of Edo State was well constitutionally embedded in November 11, 2024. Any utterances that seems to undermine the authority of the state government from that day to date is contravening not just the law and a threat to the peace of the state. And we have a government whose the people of the state have handed over authority to.
Even though the statement have not become insightful.
And what determines when you are talking of insightful, what determines insightful statements? You don't know. The freedom of speech you are talking about, you don't control, you can only control what you say. The impact of what you say, you cannot control it. We have mob mentality in the polity of Nigeria today, where you say one thing to the mob and you don't know how they take it. And by the time it snowballs into crisis, you will now begin to say, I did not mean it that way. You don't determine what you mean. That's why you should need to be careful of what you say, so that you will not be called to determine what you mean by what you say.
So why I ask that question is the fact that prior to this time,
he should be grateful that
Oshomole has come out to say more detrimental things, even when it has to do with within the political landscape of Edo State. We've seen more politics. Well, during the last election, that
was electionary. Excuse me, don't get it twisted. Okay, there's no election here. Okay. And besides that, let me clear you, distinguished Senator Comrade Aliu Oshomole has never, beyond the electionary period, which is a period where there are political crossfire in statements and speeches, have never in any way incite the citizens of Edo State against a legitimate government. The past government of Obaseki at a point, even when he was the popularity, because whenever he comes to Edo State, he will be received at the airport. Such reception became a threat to the state governor, and the state governor then had to declare him a person, threatened to declare him a personal not granting in Edo State. He cannot guarantee the peace and security of Oshomole. He should not, and he stopped going through that airport to receive for such a pattern or some kind of reception. And he respected the laws because he is the chief executive officer and the chief security officer of the state. If the chief security officer of the state is telling you that your activities directly or indirectly has made him to declare that he cannot guarantee your security, will you still go ahead and do anything?
All right. So,
in this scenario, the OBO administration have not declared Aiso Ighodalo a threat or a personal guarantee. He's saying that his political utterances to undermine the legitimacy of Edo State, because there's a legitimate government in Edo State right now, is being pardoned, is overlooked, and extending an olive branch for him to come and let's work together. Even for the larger Nigeria.
And for the conclusion of that statement is that he's granting giving amnesty in order for him to also, the door is open for him to join the All Progressive Congress.
Not just, it's not about, he said in the statement, he never mentioned All Progressive. He said to work even in the larger interests of Nigeria, vis-a-vis the TINUBU'S 2027 election that is coming, that it might be useful. Being useful to an electionary campaign does not make you, I can be a consultant to an election and I'm not a member of the party.
All right, it's an interesting one so far. So let's look in terms of the statement being, all the utterances being made by Aswa Ighodalo. One would say that this statement constitutes an aggrieved man statement, even a man that is dissatisfied with the system, is dissatisfied with some of the things that is happening in Edo State. He felt for once that the Edo State tribunal has been, to a very large extent, been affected by a lot of money has exchanged hands, which has come out to say over and over. But let's talk about the tribunal again and look at all of the happenings around the tribunal. Can we say that this whole panel and the appeal court reflects the will of the average Edolites right now?
Yeah, first of all, yes. Affirmatively, yes. And secondly, with his accusation on the, it's a threat for him to be making innuendos on the judiciary. Is a such thought from Aswa Ighodalo is a fallacy of reification and error of misplaced contriteness. For him to even think that the system that he went to court, that the system was compromised or whatever, something has exchanged hand, which he cannot prove. He may even deny that statement tomorrow that it was quoted out of context. I know him, you know, these elite people. Meanwhile, this is Asua Godao that has been in the corridor of government since Oshomole's time. He was in the corridor of Edo State government as a consultant. From there, he became the of economy team for Godwin Obaseki's administration for 8 years. He founded, he brought about the Alaudao Economic Summit and all the MOUs that we blame Obaseki for today that ruined the economic prosperity of Edo State into private hands that are still being traced, and the recovery of assets going on was undertaken under his watch, and some of the MOUs were he became consultant and provided legal advice under his law firm. Legal advices for those MOUs, claiming and collecting billions in consultancy fee and legal fees. The same person want to prove that he has the moral ground to even accuse somebody else of money exchanging hands. The APC never went to court. We were overwhelmingly voted for. We campaigned. Asua Godalo cannot tell with his conscience that he campaigned around the 192 wards of Edo State. Yes. He cannot, with his conscience, tell the world that he campaigned around the 18 local government of Edo State. Okpebholo did not just go around the 192 wards. He went around villages, communities. You know, the need for change was high because Asua Godalo was part of a government that failed woefully in the discharge of good governance to Edo people. So it was not even about the judiciary is accusing. They voted him out. It was clear winning.
All right, let's.
If you make allegation of a malpractice, the burden of evidence, the onus is on you to prove to the court. Beyond reasonable doubt.
But not beyond all shadows of doubt.
The shadows of doubt are fall within the prism of your thoughts and opinions. But when you bring it to the judicial palace, you need to prove. And there's a process. Judges. I was at the appeal court. Even Isaac Benny, the PDP state chairman, was also there. You don't bring nothing to something and want it to stand or something. Your base is baseless. There's no base for you to even agitate or clamor or pray that you should be declared. I just explained to you with their prayers. How do you say the court should nullify an election and in the same vein you want the court to declare you winner? It reminds me of the proverbial judgment of Solomon when the two women were dragging a child and the other one was ready that the child should be shed.
All right, let's look at the Governor Okpebholo's position right now, even for an inclusive government. Prior to this election, Governor Okpebholo has faulted the president of his predecessor, how they've been able to run Edo State down. And you have also said that Asua Godalo was part of that administration because it was providing consultative services in that administration.
An economic advisor.
And right now, the governor is calling for an inclusive government. Doesn't this spell doom for the All Progressive Congress, knowing fully well that these are people that were able to...
That is part of the political amnesty.
But this doesn't spell doom for the All Progressive Congress right now.
It's a political statement.
All right.
You understand? Because
so the government did not mean it the way it is.
We are recovering Edo at the same time moving forward.
Okay.
We are trying to that message. He understands the message beyond the surface explanation or surface narrative that the media is trying to build around it. Because if we want to dig the soup further, monkey hand will come out from this side.
Okay.
You know. Yes, it's part of this. Because if we begin to get him investigated very well right now, the same people with his own group, the media will begin to say he's being politically witch hunt. You understand?
Yeah.
That is what is meaning by the amnesty. That is the amnesty is being granted. That you should behave yourself.
So if he embrace the amnesty in its totality, I'm asking, if you decide to embrace the amnesty and decide to just lay back, doesn't this spell doom for the All Progressive Congress, knowing fully whether it's going to be working with the governor?
It's a two-way thing.
All right.
The governor is saying amnesty simply means forgiveness.
Pardon.
A pardon. And pardon work hand in hand with restitution. And the restitution process has started. When the governor came to power, the first thing he did was to set up the Asset Verification and Recovery Committee. It's recovery. It's still ongoing. The report that have been submitted by the Asset Verification and Recovery Committee is being implemented across the sphere, sectorally in Edo State. properties have been recovered, ownership structure of those investment they did in the name of MOU, cutting across the Gelegele to the refinery, the Radisson Hotel, and what have you. They have been reviewed because structurally Edo State money were sank into this project, and Edo State was not in the ownership structure. When you look at their registration, the CAC document, and the ownership structure of these businesses, so that such recovery is part of the restitution. You understand? The forgiveness, the pardonable aspect of it is the fact that you are not being prosecuted. You understand? But it does not mean you will not restitute. They are restituting secretly, because when the government is recovering the structural ownership of those businesses that the title said they brought to Edo State, that is part of restitution, because the ownership now belongs to Edo State. You understand? Instead of you being prosecuted for economic scavenging.
Well, I'm more concerned about Fred Itua's statement inviting the person of Igadalo to join the All Progressive Congress. You said it's political, or it's not. That's not what you said.
It's I said it's an only branch being extended.
So
joining the APC does not mean joining the APC.
I'm particularly concerned about the fact that if Fred Itua is saying that he should come join the APC, and the governor is saying he's calling for an inclusive government, I'm asking the APC that has preached for a change in Edo State government, and right now you're inviting people that you feel.
What is inclusive governance?
Well, inclusive government means everybody can work together.
Everybody.
Yes.
Everybody.
Yes.
It does not even mean that you need to be directly appointed in the government, but it means, what it simply means, you need to accept the reality of the good governance that the government is doing.
But you know that he has worked on a consultative platform for previous administration. The tendency of the government not giving him.
He is also a consultant to different politicians across Nigeria, across the party line. This is a personal friend of these people. They are the investment bankers of this world. They were the brain behind the corporate Nigerians. If you remember way back. These are we know them in the corporate sector, and they are all interwoven with the political class. So at that level, they are elitists. The problem of Nigeria is a class hegemony. It's not about APC or PDP.
Well,
it may shock you that ISWAM is also working with some APC governors now as consultants. So it's just a political statement. There's no need of hiding. Come out. You have been pardoned. And we have set up the mechanism of restitution, recovery the assets that have been entitled, vandalized into private interests, and the process is still ongoing. You saw the Presco palm oil, you saw how the shareholders came to the Edo State government. 36,000 acres of land was handed to a foreign company without structure to. What is it for? Who is paying for who?
All right. So if the Gospel Obaseki team, if the Godwin Obaseki team that have worked with the previous governor, right now they're getting the olive 3, like you've rightly said, that they're being.
No, they were not pardoned. They took their decision. Remember,
most of them left the All Progressive Congress to join the People's Democratic Party as they moved with the governor.
Thank God you said they moved with the governor. Some of the former deputy governor was never a member of PDP. Remember how many times he cried out loud that they were not registered, they were not still be welcome in PDP. Right, Honorable Philip Shaibu.
But Philip Shaibu's conversation is another different ballgame.
No, I'm trying to explain what moving with the governor.
Yeah.
Moving with the governor never made Philip Shaibu a member of PDP. He cried on television that they are not being accepted.
It was during his later days that he came out to cry.
Not later days. Yes. You remember when the then governor of Rivers said that, asking that who is his father, what right has he to question the PDP? Because he said we are not still being welcome. We are just with the governor. The governor is telling us to hold on. When you are in a party, you follow somebody to a house, does not make you a member of that family. What makes you a member of a party is the membership card.
All right. If eventually Asue Gadalo decides to join the All Progressive Congress, like you've said, the Olive 3 has been pardoned politically, and he also has been given some form of leverage. If he eventually joins the All Progressive Congress, and a lot of there's members of the People's Democratic Party in Edo State right now cross carpet to the All Progressive Congress. Wouldn't this be returned? Okay, please go on. Wouldn't this return? Let me even land on this. Wouldn't this return Edo State back to the same kind of government?
No. First of all, there's a difference between the personality. Remember, even the question the eligibility of Aswa Godalo in PDP. That's another case that we called during the election. Is he even
a bona fide member of the People's Democratic Party?
Member of the PDP.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk about his personality. Is Obaseki actually a bona fide member? Are they real politicians? So the movement you are talking about, the owners or the structural founders or foundation members of the PDP in Edo State have already started working with APC way back as almost 2 years ago. The legacy group led by Chief Danobi, the South leader of PDP National. You understand? These are PDPs. So these people, they've been, I don't want to discuss about PDP in Edo State as far as they are concerned. We call that the Obaseki faction.
Okay.
So PDP is not even a one house. As we speak today, we have two people laying claim to, they have two secretariats in PDP in Edo State. So you don't even, the judgment that is going on is actually between Aswa Godalo and APC and OBO, not necessarily PDP. Because when you have when the other side of the PDP, their secretary released a statement congratulating OBO, saying that they agree with the judgment. So how do you call that? So whatever happened to them, they are already in political hibernation at the moment. So if they decide to resurrect, I told you the government have not failed to set up a mechanism of restitution, recovery the asset. That is what matters. Recovery the asset. Today, the class of 99 governors in Nigeria, headed by Chief Lucky Nosaka Igbenedion, they are working for Asiwaju. They visited him. They said they have endorsed him. They are working for him. And Igbenedion is a major stakeholder in PDP. What are you going to talk about that?
All right. So my concern is the same old kind of government.
It's about governance.
The same old kind of government.
There is a difference between politics and governance.
So is it possible? Of course, if the people from the People's Democratic Party decide to align themselves with Governor Okpebolo,
which some of them already.
If they decide to align themselves with Governor Okpebolo, the tendency that they're not going to cross carpet is very slim, because they're going to move in order to work effectively and efficiently with the governor. They have to move cross carpet to the All Progressive Congress. In all of this instance put together, in all of this play out, when we look at this and say, okay, they want to work with the governor and they've joined the All Progressive Congress, automatically they will be given and recognize and given some certain privileges even with the governor. I don't know if you agree with me on this.
The governor believes in the doctrine of competence, capacity to deliver. It does not limit to any political group. There's no ethnic, political, or religious discrimination when it comes to governance in Edo State. The Okpebolo-led administration strongly believe that as an Edo indigene, as a citizen of the state, if you are competent and you are capable with sense of credibility, because one of his biggest leadership quality is empathy built around sincerity of purpose. He set out what he wants to do and he goes for it without grandstanding, without MOUing, without plenty theory and talking. So if he sees you that you have such, he placed that above other political sentiments of which party do you belong, which local government, which tribe you come from, and which religion you belong. It does not really lay emphasis on such creed. It's about governance of Edo State. You know, the APC only beg Edo people to give them their legitimate power through franchise, the right they have to exercise, to hand over this power to APC. APC now use the machinery of bureaucracy, which is government. Government is the machinery used by political parties to drive their manifestos. That's the definition of government. So government, I'm trying to still lay emphasis that government is different from politics. When it's time to play the politics, you play it. When it's about governance, you think about deliveries. Good governance delivery. And by so doing, such engagement will entrench social contracts. And you see the Okpebolo administration today, when it's giving out the loans and everything, the loans to the rural farmers, the loans to the rural market people, it's not, the loans are not being given, interest-free loans. They're not given to APC or PDP or an LOP. they are given to the downs of the society, the downtrodden, across the 80 local government. He doesn't even know where they belong. Most of the people that voted for him are not APC. They love his empathy, they love his humility, and they believe in what he promised them that he was going to do. The rural communities that is opening their roads now across the local government, the people in those rural communities, they are not APC roads or PDP roads. The infrastructure revamping that is going on, the flyovers that is constructing in Benin Metropolis, are they APC flyover or PDP flyovers? They can only be Okpebolo's or APC's legacy after he must have left power. Unfortunately, he didn't have any legacy to build upon. It's only building upon the achievement of Oshomole, which was visible achievement. I'm talking of infrastructure revamping. So
you're saying that Godwin Obaseki doesn't have.
When you are talking a performance appraiser, you are a worker in this TV. If I'm appraising, you are an HRO expert. If I'm doing performance appraiser, if you score 30, you can't tell me you pass. It does not mean you didn't score at all.
So by the appraiser, you say that Godwin Obaseki scored 30.
Yeah, in
over 100.
In areas of he has
infrastructural development in the states, security.
No, he has.
Yeah.
He has the brain to think, but he does not have
the willpower to execute.
The willpower to execute and the creative mind to bring things to reality. Not necessarily because he doesn't have, but because of his selfishness. He was not sincere with Edo people. Across, I've checked all. Refinery is a good project. Gelegele Seaport is a good project. Aochi International Airport is a good project. You know, name it. The dry port he was saying he wanted to do, all collecting money, all this thing I'm mentioning in Bobaha. It's a good project, at least inland ports. You understand? Which of it? The Edo Best was adjudged in theory as one of the best education policy that will come out of any state government in Nigeria, which laid the foundation for World Bank to give him $75 million. At the end of the day, what was the result of Edo Best? Edo Best led to recruitment of thousands of young Nigerian graduates, and we made them contract start paying them 39,000 naira. Is that a translation? Now, Babolo without the carrying the Edo Best, now redesigning and absorbing these children, absorbing the teachers now. A brain that can think that all the cleaners and lower cadre of staff in the government house and government institution in the state should be outsourced, and they will be paying 21,000, 25,000, outsourced to consultants from Lagos. But meanwhile, you are paying this consultant minimum wages in 70,000. The consultant are paying this for peanuts. Okpebolo comes now, say no. As far as you are a staff of Edo State, you should not be a part-time staff. You should not be a contract staff. More than 300 of them. It's in the news, was in the news, and it's ongoing, and they were all absorbed. How do you expect? What do you want them to feel? So when they want to assess, these people want to assess or judge Okpebolo and Obaseki. How would they judge? The man that made you a contract staff and the man that made you a permanent staff for you to benefit full emolument, condition of services. Who will you support? Even if they were PDP, when they were being made contract staff. I'll be the cleaners. And now he has gone for that to be doing more recruitment from the health sector to the education sector. That is how to revamp. And you are seeing the schools is building. It's not building in papers. You allocated 4.something billion of Obaseki, and you are building a model trucking center in Aviele. In paper, in the budget of 2023-2024, it was appropriated. That means money to release. But me and you, if you go through where you are going to Edo State, Aviele is along the road. The truck's menace is still there. There's not even a caterpillar or an equipment in sight. That is what is the ideas are. You have beautiful ideas, but no willpower because you lack credibility. Because when most Nigerians agitate for competence, professionalism, I laugh. Education, especially paper education. Education is both formal and informal. When you don't have the credibility and the integrity to translate ideas to reality, it becomes a totalizing mirage.
Well, let's even move away from the conversation. As we begin to wrap up right now, let's delve into assessing Governor Okpebolo's administration so far, since you've taken us to that point of talking about his administration. A lot of locals in the rural communities in Edo State will say they've not really felt the impact, or is it too early to start to feel the
I don't
impact
know
of the
how
governor?
you have done your
Well,
assessment. Have you interacted with some of these people?
Yeah, we've been able to talk to some persons even at Uromi. So the feedbacks that we get in some of these communities, it's a bit sad because most of them have not really felt the impact.
You know, the definition, you know, a typical Nigerian define or appraise good governance based on his stomach.
No, I'm even throwing it light to you. Is it too early to start to assess the government?
It's not too early because
yes.
at 100 days,
yes.
100 days in office of Opelo was showcased to the whole world.
Yeah.
It was marvelous. His achievement in 100, not talk of six months.
Yeah, across the 3 senatorial districts.
Excuse me.
Across
Opelo is a governor.
We are looking at a look at it from the various senatorial districts first.
I'm going to
not just in Edo State. Yeah, let's not even start from Edo City. Let's take it down to the local. From Benin City. I beg your pardon. Let's move on.
Let me start. The Uromi Biaja highway. Express road is under construction as we speak. In the same Uromi you are talking about. The palpable insecurity that bedeviled that community for years. When was the last time? Did you hear end of any reprisal attack from the Fulani issue that happened in that Uromi? Do you know how Bemolo quenched it? How he managed it? Do you know the consequences of the consequential influence of that? If it was allowed to just go like that? Okay. If you go to Udoni community to Uwesa, it's connecting the roads. Jobs are ongoing. Modern Girls Drama School has been refurbished. I'm talking of Edo Central. Yeah. The AAU Abusalu University, they were collecting 25 million subvention and increased to 500 million. Monthly subvention. Does this have any direct? Please go ahead. Because when the school does not have subvention, it does not have what it takes to run the school. Yeah. So, and when you are running the school means you have students to teach, and these students belong to parents, and these parents are in the rural communities. This is the multiplier effect of good governance. Some are visible, some are invisible. What about the student? Imagine you have a child in the school that have graduated and read medicine, and he has not been caught for years. He has not done housemanship and to be qualified as a doctor. He cleared all the process and reabsorbed them. Ile is an adjoining town in between Ewu and Ekpoma in Eastern West local government. It's connecting Ile to Irua. The project is ongoing, road projects. These are things that you can go and verify. You said I should not talk about Benin City because that's a huge construction site.
No, it is.
Are we going to be talking about which you already know? Before now, it's on television that the former governor put a signpost that the Benin-Auchi road, Ekpoma Azis, that was not passable, expressway. This road belongs to federal government. You should bear with him. And you see the massive construction work that is going on there. As at February, as at Easter period, April, when I went to Edo State, I went through that place with joy. You can now, from Ekpoma to Benin, cannot take you less than 30 to 40 minutes. Unlike before, you spend hours. The trailers that are giving testimonies are not even from Edo State because they ply the road. And it's not stopping, it's working towards the Ewu Aziz. And Agbede Aziz has done a lot of amelioration there. As we speak, from Akoko Edo local government, from Auchi, Ipeshi, straight to Ibilo. I was on this program when your colleague was questioning that road, because the road became it was so bad. It was an eyesore. It was so bad that it became a transit point for all sorts of insecurity, including kidnapping. Yeah. He did not wait for the federal government. He told them the Ministry of Works to go and review, and they discovered more than 40 bad spots on that stretch of Ipeshi to Ibilo. About 45 bad spots that have damaged the road completely, and immediately approved, and work is going on there now. The former speaker of House of Assembly, Ajoto, the road connecting from that major highway, Ibilo Junction, to his village, 13.something kilometers, awarded by Obaseki, and after 2.9 kilometer construction, they abandoned it out of 13. Since OBO came to power and he has completed it. let me take you to Edo North. Now projects are being awarded. I'm talking of project now. I'm going to I will come to agriculture. Then I'll come to education. 6 months of governance. We are talking of possible 8 years. Then Edo would be Edorado. In South Ibie, between Ugeda and Aviele Road, the community, Ugeda community, awarded cumulatively 13.something kilometers of roads. Work is ongoing. It's not just awards. And as we speak, more than 100 health centers across Edo State, across the all local governments, are being worked on for revamping in partnership with support from World Bank. Are we going to talk about the schools? When to mark his 100 days in office, he approved the reconstruction and revamping of 100 schools across the 18 local governments. And every week in, week out, you see each school is being delivered across the 18 local governments. In agriculture, I had a cause to host on a Zoom meeting. I hosted the permanent secretary. It was not appointed by OBO. The permanent secretary, Minister of Agriculture, Edo State. For the 8 years of Obaseki, they could not afford a single tractor. 0 tractor in a complete state, a full state. As we speak, in February, they took delivery. OBO came in January, they took delivery of 6 tractors. Last week again, they took delivery of 7. And the target is more than 100 tractors. And month in, month out, that is going to be delivering it so that it will go around all the local government. So you can imagine the impact of that in rural farmers. He did not stop there. He had meetings with all the market women. Because this market women, they are not
Comrade Aruna, if we leave you on this Okpebelo's achievement right now, I think we will not leave this studio today. Probably we just need to take a tour with you one of these days to go see things for ourselves.
When you are ready,
even in Edo State.
I'm not talking of the IGRO.
No,
that has grown.
We will have to follow you to Edo State to check these things out because also we'll verify all of those things and be able to align our thoughts with some of the achievements of the government. Like I said, if we leave you on this conversation, you will not stop. You keep going on and on.
Yeah, because it just approved you for our water project.
Right, when you talk about all of those things, I will try to tie this up with what when former governor of Edo State, Governor Obaseki, was the governor. In his first 6 months in office, it looks similar when he took over from Adams or Shomole. It seems similar.
No. In the first 6 months of his, we were able to give an excuse that it should not be appraised yet. Not because there was nothing to go and check the archives. Facts, not lies. 6 months of his coming to power after in 2016. What was the IGRO position? It took him some time to grow the IGRO. It even took him years before Edo State became number 9 on the chart of state with the most better IGRO.
All right. So
and today this man has come without consultants. Used consultants to generate IGRO, but this man without consultants doing the right thing to generate the right revenue. You need to deliver good governance for people to willingly go and pay tax. Sure, you know that. And now he's including on the IGRO.
Well, I don't want to say that you have automatically become the special the
between Obaseki and Okpebolo is that one is showing workings, the other one is doing cha.
All right, I think it's a good way to say thank you so much, Comrade Aruna Brahimo, for finding out time to be with us here, even on Global Morning. Because if we allow you, I know that we won't leave this studio this morning, because the way you're talking about Okpebelo's administration and his achievements so far, and you're saying it with all excitement and joy.
Of course, we're happy in Edo State.
Until we get to Edo State, we'll be able to also assess the level of happiness.
Able to take you around.
Who am I not to take part in yam in Edo State and other beautiful delicacies? But we'll go for this short break, and when we come back, a Global Morning still continues. Please stay with us.